My name is Victoria Lang. At 54, I'm a senior project manager who's clawed her way back to solid ground after losing my husband to cancer 17 years ago. Every late night, every extra shift, every skipped vacation, I poured it all into raising my only child, Sophie. Tomorrow was meant to mark her joy and, secretly, mine too. Proof that our little family of two had made it. Instead, that cold, courteous smirk of his haunted me long after the rehearsal dinner lights dimmed. The event at Evergreen Manor was picture-perfect on the surface. Crystal flutes clinking, string lights twinkling over ivy-draped arches, guests toasting the couple. Sophie glowed in her pale lavender dress, dark curls swept to one side, laughing as she rehearsed her vows beside the fireplace. Her fiancé, Ethan Reed, watched with the easy charm that had charmed everyone. Everyone except me. I'd caught the tells weeks earlier. The two quick subject changes when finances came up, the flashy cufflinks paired with vague tech startup stories, the way his laugh sharpened whenever anyone probed too deeply. Still, I stayed quiet, hoping I was wrong. Then, as dessert plates were cleared, Ethan asked for a private word. We stepped into the Manor's quiet study, shelves heavy with leather-bound volumes. The door clicked shut. "No more games, Victoria," he said, voice low and even. "Tomorrow starts our new chapter. Sophie and I both feel you're overpresent. We need space, real space. No weekend calls, no surprise visits, no opinions." I kept my face neutral. "Sophie said this?" "She doesn't want to hurt you," he replied smoothly. "But yes, it's time you stepped back. Permanently." He paused, eyes glinting. "Imagine the perfect wedding present. You, gone for good." The words landed like ice water. Years of bedtime stories, hospital vigils, college tuition payments, all reduced to interference. He left me standing there, brandy glass in his hand, certain he'd won. Sleep never came. At 2:47 a.m., I sat at the breakfast bar with cooling tea, staring at the title deed to Seaside Haven, the modest beach house I'd purchased as our future escape. Sophie had once begged to inherit it, calling it our forever place. Ethan assumed it was already promised to them. He was wrong. The paperwork remained solely in my name. If he craved my disappearance, I'd deliver, on my schedule. I emailed my broker at dawn. "List Seaside Haven today. Aggressive pricing. Cash buyers only." Then I phoned the venue coordinator. "Add one sealed envelope to each place, setting tomorrow. I call them gratitude tokens." By sunrise, I'd printed 78 dossiers, courtesy of the discreet investigator I'd retained 4 months earlier after Ethan's venture capital tales began to fray. Bank records, court filings, angry emails from defrauded partners, promises of high returns that vanished into thin air. Every page screamed one name, Ethan Reed. The wedding morning arrived crisp and golden. Sophie, radiant in antique satin, hugged me in the dressing room. "Promise everything will be okay, Mom?" I kissed her forehead. Some days start messy, so the right ending can arrive. Guests settled in the garden as Sophie glided down the petal-strewn path on my cousin's arm. Ethan stood tall at the arbor, looking every inch the victorious groom. Vows were spoken, rings exchanged, applause rang out. I sat motionless through it all, the weight of the envelopes waiting in the banquet room pressing against my ribs. At the reception, golden hour light poured through tall windows. Toasts flowed, then the MC announced, "Before we serve the first course, the mother of the bride has a small gesture for each of you. Personal thank yous from the Lang family." 78 hands lifted flaps. Paper rustled. Then silence fractured. A sharp inhale at table 4. "Ethan, you swore that solar project was guaranteed." A choked voice nearby. "He took my aunt's retirement fund for his app that never launched." Murmurs swelled to outrage. Phones appeared, names were Googled. Old wounds reopened in real time. Sophie turned to Ethan, face draining of color. "What are these?" "Proof," I said quietly, lifting my glass. "The truth you deserve to see." Ethan's composure cracked. "This is sabotage. Victoria's unhinged." A calm baritone interrupted. Detective Moreno, a family friend seated near the back, rose with a folder. Actually, Mr. Reed, these align with an ongoing inquiry. Your signature appears on quite a few questionable wire transfers. Sophie stared at the ring on her finger, then slowly slid it off. As officers moved in, Ethan lunged toward an exit. They didn't let him reach it. Handcuffs snapped. Guests watched in stunned hush as the man who demanded my erasure was escorted out in disgrace. Later, in the emptying hall, Sophie collapsed beside me, mascara streaking. How did I miss it? You trusted love, I whispered. He weaponized it. That's not your fault. We sat in silence until she leaned against me, the way she had at 10 after nightmares. In the wreckage of silk and spilled champagne, something stronger began to mend. Days afterward, the investigator uncovered Ethan's silent partner, a smooth-talking operator named Ryan Tate, already circling another mother-daughter pair in the next county. We warned them. A tense dinner, strategically placed questions, and hidden recordings later, Tate joined Ethan behind bars. Their network unraveled, exposing dozens of devastated families. Sophie and I redirected the beach house sale proceeds into a nonprofit, Horizon Haven. We provide red flag education, fraud recovery support, and safe exit planning for those ensnared by charmers who isolate and exploit. Other survivors joined, mothers, daughters, sisters, turning private pain into public protection. One quiet evening, Sophie said, "Maybe the wedding that never really happened was the one that saved us." I nodded. Sometimes the cruelest words become the clearest warnings. If a relationship ever demands you erase the people who built you, pause. Document. Investigate. Trust the chill in your gut. It might be guarding your future. Thank you for staying until the end. If this resonated, pass it to someone who might need the reminder. Like, share, and drop your city below. I read everyone.